Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Christine of Spotted Horse Design Company, so welcome. I am in a good mood today because the sun is shining and it is not raining for once. You guys, we are in the thick of mud season right now, and I'm telling you, I am about to lose my mind. My biggest problem is the animals, okay? So we have a muddy mat, which you can't really see here, but I have the biggest one that you could possibly get, I have for here, and that it really does do its job, and it's cut down on the mess so much, and I'm so grateful for it. But when it is super sloppy outside and the mud is just like, it's just freshly wet because it won't stop raining, I just feel like all I do is wipe endless paws every single day, multiple times a day, and there are still muddy paw prints everywhere. And I'm telling you what, yesterday morning, my poor husband, I really did lose my mind. I had an entire breakdown over the mud situation. But I'm better today because the sun is out, and that is solving almost all of my problems. So speaking of the rain and the mud, my husband and I have had an interesting couple of days. So we went to one of the neighboring wineries, had an adult Easter egg hunt, which sounded wonderful. I bought the tickets like weeks ago, so we were ready for this, and it sounded like so much fun. And it was literally just cold and windy, very windy, and you guessed it, rainy and muddy. But we still had a good time, okay? Like, don't get me wrong, it was still a good time. Despite the weather, my husband and I, you were allowed to find 5 eggs each, and then you could go back inside and redeem your free glass of wine. So that's what my husband and I did. We got our wine. So we enjoyed our wine, and I enjoyed eating most of the candy because my husband is not a candy person. I don't understand, like, adults that don't like candy, that don't like, do we not have a sweet tooth anymore? Because I have a terrible sweet tooth, but it works in my favor because all the candy was mine, so I didn't have to share. And then the next day after that, we had a wine 5K, which was basically, it's a 5K in one of the other neighboring wineries all through their vineyards. And that was actually a lot of fun, but it was also horribly muddy. And I didn't get a lot of video footage. Actually, I don't think I got any video footage of this. I just have some photos that I took from my phone, so I can put them up here for you guys to see. But it was quite muddy. To go, to make it a 5K, you had to go around this loop and then like serpentining up and down the rows of grapes. You had to do that twice, and it was so muddy and slippery and sloppy that I only went around the course one time. My husband did it twice, and he came in, I forget what he did place for his age group, so that was really awesome. And yes, at the end of that, we were all rewarded with a glass of wine, so you know, I was all into that. If you're not aware, I do live in wine country in upstate New York. I live in the Finger Lakes, on one of the Finger Lakes, so literally everything around here revolves around wine. Every single event, there's wine involved somehow. And speaking of wine, I signed up for a second 5K in another week and a half. That is, well, it's technically a hard cider 5K, but it's being held at one of the wineries that also has a brewery and a cidery, so you can actually get a free drink of choice. So you can get wine, beer, or hard cider after that 5K, and it's going to be the same deal where you're basically serpentining up and down the rows of grapes and going around the fields, and somehow it's going to equal a 5K. So I'm just hoping it's going to be a little drier for that event. So it's about a little more than a week away, so the weather has about a week to get itself under control and do something different, because I don't want to do another muddy 5K. That the thing is I don't know, I probably wouldn't mind the muddiness if I didn't already live in so much mud. If like our property is just so muddy, so the last thing I want to do is a 5K and deal with more mud. So I'm over it. So I am hoping that it is going to be a little drier. So you're probably sick of listening to me talk about that. So let's get into the crochet. Oh, hold on. So I've been working on my Advent blanket. We've got some progress to show you. So I don't remember what I showed you last time. I think I had the first 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4 done. But we now have rows 5 and 6. So we've got this Celtic weave stitch on row 5 and then moss stitch stripes for row 6. And the row 7 is going to be, I haven't added any red yet. This was my first time in this blanket adding this purple color, but I haven't added any red, and I definitely need to add some red to make it festive because it is a Christmas blanket. So the next row is going to be red. This is the red that I'm going to be using. I don't know if, that's going to be the next row. So we've got to add some festive colors. I've got a green there, but I kind of didn't want this to be a super, like, I wanted this blanket to be like mildly festive, but with other colors that would also go with Christmas colors. And I did have like, I did have a Pinterest board with inspiration photos with well, not inspiration photos, but color palettes. So there was a color palette that looked, you know, pretty much like this, but it did incorporate some red and green along with like purples and pinks and stuff. So so anyways, that's going to be the next row. Well, no, strip. It's going to be the next strip, not the next row. Do I have any other crochet? Oh, I do want to show you something that I have to work on this week, getting the pattern written. I have it made. So the next pattern that I'm going to be working on is this water bottle holder. So you can either wear it, you know, on your shoulder or a crossbody. And it holds like a standard water bottle, 16.9 ounces. But I have put other things in here. I've put other sizes. I've put actually a 20-ounce bottle. I've put in here, I've put a can, like just a small 12-ounce can that also fits in here. So this is going to be the next pattern that I will be writing, but I really like how this turned out. And I did use this. We went to, my son and I went somewhere to an amusement park. Not recently because it's still, we're coming out of winter, but I actually made this last summer and I'm just now getting around to writing the pattern. But I did bring this with me last summer to an amusement park, and it was just so nice to always have a bottle of water on me without having to carry around a big heavy bag. I have to make another wine tote. I don't know if you remember, I don't know, a few vlogs ago, a couple months ago, I made a wine tote as a thank you gift to somebody, and I have to make another thank you gift for another somebody. So I'm going to do, and this person loves wine, loves red wine. So I'm going to make one of those today. I have to settle on a color first, but I think I'm going to do green. Hold on. I kind of like this. I need to use up this color theory. I wonder if I usually use cotton yarn, but I might do, I kind of like this navy or this, what I got on here, or this like mustardy. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What about this? I haven't used this up. I need to use this anyways. Or what if I did the base in this color and then the mesh? No, I mean, I like the idea, but no. I think I'm going to do this one. So I am going to work on this now. However, I have non-crochet things, something that I really, really want to do today. And I've been looking forward all week to this day because I set aside time to do this. And that is to start repotting some of my plants. And guys, I have a problem. I have a serious problem. I've been buying all these plants and I don't know what I'm going to do with any of them. I'm running out of space. You see that I live in a very tiny space, 384 square feet to be exact. So I don't have a lot of space for plants, but I am definitely buying a lot of plants. So one of the things I want to do is, I got to repot. This is one of the ones I have to repot. There is, oh, there it is. This little guy here, I don't know if you can see this. I want to keep this in here and then pull this big part out and repot it in one of my other pots. And I don't know, I got other things. I bought more pots over the weekend. And do you want to see it? Do you want to see everything? So glad you asked, because I've been dying to show you. So this once served as, well, like a counter space, a kitchen counter space. It's also one of my, it holds 6 bottles of wine, which obviously I'm using. But basically this whole thing has just turned into my plant station, plant potting station, plant place. So I bought this, and this over the weekend, and I bought some new pots. I love this one. Also, and then this one I got also over the weekend. So I need to do some rearranging, and of course you can see I've got, you know, some things that are just, you know, I've potted up, but I haven't put into, like, you know, an actual pot yet. And I still have these little guys in my wine glass propagating. I keep checking them like literally every hour of every day to see if they have grown roots yet, and they haven't, but they've only been in here for like a week. So I I know I'm premature in checking for those. But yeah, anyways, I thought it would be fun to, once I'm done crocheting that wine tote, we can go outside because the sun is out and it's a nice day. It's a little chilly. I think it's only in the 40s, but it's a beautiful day to be outside planting, so that's what we're gonna do. But first, I don't wanna get my hands all dirty. I wanna get all my crocheting out of the way first before I start getting into the messy stuff. So the main portion of my wine tote is done. All I have to do is make the little handles now, but I'm going to stop here because I really want to get outside and get those plants potted up. Also, my husband's supposed to be home from work in probably like an hour. I want to say an hour. So I also have to get dinner started. So while we're watching TV tonight, I'm going to work on the handles, and then this will be all done. But right now, let's go outside because I've been dying to go outside and pot my new plants. Everything's been potted up. Everything has a home except this little guy right here. But other than that, everybody else has their own pot. Oh, well, except these guys that I'm propagating in my my wine glass back there. But that's it. There's my plant shell. I am so in love with how everything looks. You guys have no idea how happy all my little plants make me. All right, so I'm going to head over to the camper to go start dinner for my husband and my son. And I'm going to bring my wine tote over there so I can finish that while we're watching our TV shows tonight. you.